And keep that love going for our next teller, whose name is Kat Ash.
I'd like y'all to know that I left my 13-week-old baby to be with you fine people tonight. And I have a breast pump in my purse. So you hear or see anything weird, just look away. So when you graduate vet school, they hand you your white coat and they hand you your stethoscope, and it suddenly hits you that, oh my God, people are going to think that I know what I'm talking about. I was 28 when I graduated. I'm, as Steve said, perfectly sized, but I am 5'2", and until I had kids, I had beautiful skin, and I was very young looking. Now, kids have wrecked that, and I look 40, which is how old I am, but when I graduated, I was 28, and I looked 17, so I knew that I had to really look amazing and really convince people that I knew what I was talking about. So my first month as a veterinarian, I was so nervous when I would talk to people, because I'd go in and the first thing they'd say is, oh my God, you look so young. You cannot be a vet. Got really tired of hearing it quickly, but other than dyeing my hair gray, I didn't really have any, I wore glasses, I dressed really conservatively, but I still looked young. So I'd put on my white coat, I'd put on my stethoscope, I'd go in, I'd do a firm handshake. 'Cause, the firm handshake is really important. No limp noodle, it was, I'm Dr. Ash. I watched a lot of ER, so I knew how to introduce myself so that people would buy it, that I knew what I was doing. Because if you're a professional, you've probably heard the term imposter syndrome. And that's what I felt. I felt like I had the coat, I had the stethoscope, but inside I was not a veterinarian. I was a 17-year-old girl who didn't know what she was doing and certainly had never done any of the things I pretended that I had done when I talked to my clients. For instance, have you done this surgery before? I've seen a lot of them. And I've assisted, which in vet school means you held the fat out of the way while the people who knew what they were doing did the surgery. It's true. Ask your doctor. So the first spay surgery I had to do, I was so amped. I had a cat. I was going to take out her ovaries. I was going to prevent extra kittens in the world. I was changing the world one vet at a time, okay, people? So they come in, I put my white coat on, I got my stethoscope, my name tag, I go in, I'm Dr. Ash. I'm here to spay your cat. Let's talk about the possible complications. Complications include infection, hemorrhage, death. I let it all sink in, and then I said, but it's a very straightforward surgery. It is abdominal surgery, but it's very straightforward. And the people said, well, we're going to trust that Priscilla is going to get the best care in your hands, Dr. Ash. You sound very confident, because I can fake it like nobody's business, man. They believe me. So the cat comes back. We do our preoperative blood work. We get the catheter in. Everything looks beautiful. My tech is very inexperienced. So I'm very nervous about this. I have a checklist. Does anybody use checklists in here? I love a checklist, okay? They are the best thing ever. So my checklist has check blood work, put in IV catheter, administer fluids, check the anesthesia machine, make sure you have anesthetic gas, all of those things. So we go through the checklist. Everything's going really smoothly, but I'm still nervous. So I go in the bathroom. I YouTube a video on how to spay a cat. I'm not making this up. It's a thing. Go home and Google it, people. I'm not lying. You can look up a splenectomy. You can look up a neuter. You can look up anything you want on YouTube. So I went in there and I'm like on the toilet, like fast, speeding through the 15-second thing. Like, okay, skip to the part where you cut the cat. I got this part. So they get to it. I watch it. I do the visualization in the mirror. I'm like, I can do this. Center yourself. Center yourself. So I go in. My very nervous tech is over checking the cat, making sure everything's looking good. Anesthesia's smooth. I make my incision. I'm feeling good. Hemorrhage is controlled. The cat is doing beautifully on the really awesome combo of drugs I cooked up to use. Everything is going perfectly. So I take what is called a spay hook. You probably have no idea what that is, but it is a long hook that you stick down in the kitty, and you use it to fish around until you blindly grab their uterus, and then you pull it out. Yeah, you can grab stuff. It's true. It's really true. It's called the snook hook, and the guy who invented it murdered his wife, but they didn't change the name. Again, Google it, people. Dr. Snook, Ohio State University, murdered his wife. But they still call it the snook hook because it's It's like Dr. Seuss, the Snook Cook. So I'm fishing around in there, and I'm fishing around, and I'm fishing around, and I'm fishing around. And finding the uterus can be hard. It can be a difficult part of the space. I'm fishing. I move to the other side. I'm fishing. Nothing is coming up. I'm like, well, maybe the cat's been already spayed because it was a stray, and it happens. So I'm fishing. I'm fishing. I'm fishing. I'm fishing. And fishing. Fishing. So 27 minutes into what should be a 30-minute procedure, I stop, and this sick feeling is spreading through my body. And I turn to my technician, and I say, would you look under the drape for me, Rachel? She lifts the drape, and her face kind of drains of color, and then she turns to me, and she says, she has testicles. So this helped amazingly with my imposter syndrome, feeling like I wasn't a doctor, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I was just a fake. Turns out I can't tell if a cat is male or female. The moral of the story is I addended my checklist, so now it says check blood work, IV fluids, check gas anesthesia, look for testicles.